Hoops talk for the street.
Now let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets side of this trade. I think they came out excellent in this trade, in my opinion. They got everything you need in a trade. They got a unique young talent in Ben Simmons. They got an interior presence in big boy Drummond. They got another elite shooter in Seth Curry. And they got picks for the future that they can package with any one of those guys going forward if they're not happy with the performance. So when you look at how the Brooklyn Nets came out in this deal, it's really good. I love what the Nets got in return for a guy who was going to leave anyway. Let's be real about it. James Harden, he was going to leave this summer anyway. He was already ramping up to leave the Brooklyn Nets. So to me, I think it was a win-win for both teams. Now, when we talk about the Brooklyn aspect of the deal, Ben Simmons, the spotlight is on you, my boy. Are you ready for the heat that's about to come at NYC? I hope you're ready because you asked for it. And I think you're ready to handle it. Listen, this is going to be a comeback. Yeah, a comeback, next 20, 30 games of the season is going to be a comeback time for you. And I'm one of those dudes who give the benefit of the doubt to players when they're in a new situation. I assume that they're going to play well. I assume that they're going to have a renewed confidence, a renewed energy about them. And we're going to see. Ben Simmons, is going to be time for you to show and prove out here in Brooklyn. And I think it's going to work out well for you if you just play your role, really. The Brooklyn Nets don't need you to be everything. Now, what you bring to the table is actually what the Brooklyn Nets need. You fit right in. Interchangeable, versatile forward. You can play defense, you can rebound, and you can facilitate. That's what the Brooklyn Nets need right now. They have two of the most unique guys over 6'10" in the NBA that the NBA has ever seen, actually, with KD and with Ben Simmons. Now, if this was me coaching, when everybody gets back, I'm throwing Ben out at the 5. I'm throwing the 5 or the 4 exclusively. I'm telling you right, no more point guard anything I want to see for Ben Simmons for the rest of the year. No more point guard. Now, you can still facilitate. You can still facilitate every other possession. Plenty of opportunities to do so. But never again do I want to see you line up at that point guard spot. Me, I'll have Ben at the 5 or the 4. Start him at the 5. You could do Ben, KD, Brown, Seth, Kyrie. When Joe Harris comes back, you can slot him in. If you want to keep Brown in there for defense, you can do that as well. But Ben playing the 5 for me and facilitating from that mid post, from that high post area, I think is going to be excellent for the Brooklyn Nets. And I think that's how you're going to get the most out of Ben Simmons that you need, because he's going to have to find out how to work with KD, because he has never played with a player like that. And with KD, Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers the league has ever seen, operating out of the mid post, isolating. And then you got Kyrie on the wing, on the perimeter. He can get to the basket at any time. Top 5 layup package of all time. Top 5 handles of all time. Ben Simmons, this is the team where you're going to have to get out the way. I'm going to need you to step out of the way. You don't have to handle the ball as much. You don't have to facilitate as much. Focus on defense. Focus on rebounding. Focus on how you can maximize the strengths of KD and Kyrie on that end of the floor. And I think it's going to work out well for them, man. Listen, I like the fit. You're going to add Drummond in there too, another big boy who could get you 10 to 15 to 20 rebounds a night. That's what the Nets have been missing next to KD, a big body in there. He can help out Claxton. He can help out LaMarcus Aldridge. I think Drummond is going to fit in nice over here in Brooklyn. I think he's going to, even though he may not start, he may or may not, who knows. I will personally bring him off the bench, but he could still be very effective in limited minutes. So Andre Drummond, I think he's going to have an excellent time here in Brooklyn as well. And Seth Curry. Not enough can be said about having another elite shooter. You look at that backcourt, Seth Curry, Patty Mills, Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris. They got some shooters out here in Brooklyn. Listen, you could throw out, how I would do the lineup is start Ben Simmons at the 5, bring him out early, and then bring him back at mid-court at the end of the first quarter to play with the second unit and play with those shooters. Play with a Patty Mills. Play with a Joe Harris. Play with a Blake Griffin. Play with a, who else? A Seth Curry. A lot of those guys. So I think that's where Ben Simmons is going to be most effective, where you have a guy like that going against opposing team's second unit. So the Brooklyn Nets have a great opportunity to be very versatile. They have an opportunity to throw so many different lineups out. Now, the key is going to be coaching. Can Steve Nash learn different lineup combos? Can Steve Nash be that master motivator that you need in the playoffs in tight moments? We're going to see how that works. So I know a lot of people are making a big stink about Kyrie being part-time, but we don't know how that's going to turn out. That could change at any moment. Even without him, even if he misses those home games, Ben Simmons can step into that role and do a little bit more. You can ask, he's an all-NBA type of talent. He's an all-defensive type of player. He can be very interchangeable in pieces. So I think you're going to see a renewed Ben Simmons, a more aggressive Ben Simmons, a Ben Simmons that may try to prove a lot of people wrong. So I think the Brooklyn Nets are gonna come out well in this trade. And like I said, both teams are gonna come out well in this trade. Now, I tell you right now, what would be delicious is if we get a playoff series of the Nets and 76ers. Now, that's gonna be delicious. I don't care what round it is. First round, second round, conference finals. I don't care what it is. It's gonna be delicious. And it's gonna be must-see TV. So let's hope for that. The streets, we need to ask for that. Hopefully that'll happen. The basketball gods will give us that. We'll see how that rocks, man. So I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions on this trade. Call in, man. Let me know. 908-718-1592, man. Let me know how you think this trade is going to end up.